Hello, my name is Kyler Baxter and this is video number 9. Today we're going to talk about finger picking patterns and how to play them. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm looking at this page right here in the packet. So it says guitar finger picking patterns, and we're going to focus on some finger picking patterns today. Okay, let's go ahead and let's first start off with forming a C chord, okay? Let's take a look at a C chord. So C chord looks like this. It's that staircase chord that we talked about. Okay. Now, we're going to put our pick down. If you play with a pick, we're going to put our pick down. We're going to use these 4 fingers. So we're not using our pinky. It's going to be our thumb, index, middle, and ring. Okay. In other words, I call this our R finger. This is our root note, meaning root note is the lowest note of the chord. More on that later. And then index is 1, middle is 2, and ring is 3. Okay, so forming that C chord like this. Now look at my right hand, okay? I'm gonna use my pinky. I'm gonna use them as like kind of an anchoring down point. You can experiment with this. If you like it, great. I like it. It helps me guide my fingers a little bit better, but some people don't. It's up to you. But notice how my thumb is on the 5th string. Why is it on the 5th string? It's on the 5th string because in the C chord, we are just doing the bottom 5 strings, right? So the lowest note of the bottom 5 is this note right here, because we don't strum all 6. So this is our root note for the C chord, okay? So our thumb's gonna be right here. Our index is gonna be on the 3rd from the bottom string, right here on the G string. Middle is gonna be on the B string here. And then our ring is all the way on the bottom on the high E. This is called home bass position. Home bass position, in other words, we're never going to leave this home bass position. Only thing that changes is your thumb, okay? Your thumb will change from these 3 strings depending on what chord you're playing. So, this is a C chord, okay? Now make sure you have curlage with your fingers. So you really want to be curled with these fingers. You don't want to be like this. That's the last thing you want. You really want to curl these fingers, kind of like almost like a claw, or like a bear claw, think of something like that. But you really want to curl these fingers. So we're going to go thumb, and then let's do index, middle, and ring. We're just going to go down the ladder right now. This is called down the ladder. Index, middle, ring. Do it again. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Now notice also when I'm doing this, I'm not going like this, doing a lot of excessive movement. I'm doing little movements, you may notice. My fingers barely move. They're still hovering over the strings. That is on purpose. You're gonna get a lot more faster results if you do it that way. So that one's called down the ladder. That's picking pattern number 1. That's root, 1, 2, 3. Root, 1, 2, 3. In other words, thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Now let's take a look at finger picking pattern number 2, which is in Hallelujah. We're gonna go down the ladder, then up the ladder. Thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index, thumb. That was Hallelujah. That one's a very common one, a very popular one. Just so you know as well, a good rule of thumb is all versions of G's and E's, whether it be E major, E minor, or G minor, which we haven't learned yet. But if G major, it's going to be always, the root note is going to be the 6th string up here. If we were on a G chord. Same with E minor or E major. So all E's and G's will be up here. All C's and A's will be on the 5th string. And all F's and D's will be the 4th string, because the F's and the D chords only use the bottom 4 strings, right? So that's a good rule of thumb with those guys, okay? So all E's and G's, all C's and A's, and all D's and F's right here, okay? So that is hallelujah. That's the root 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, or thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index, thumb. Just like that. Now finger picking pattern number 3, that is Hey There Delilah. This one is you plucking the root. I'm still on a C chord, by the way. We're doing root and then 1, 2, 3 at the same time. Root, 1, 2, 3, root, 1, 2, 3. Filler strings, I call this root, and then filler strings. This is a root fill. Root, fill, root, fill. This one's in Hey There Delilah. Hey there Delilah, what's it? That was Hey There Delilah. Okay. Now finger picking pattern number 4. This one is one of my favorites. Let's go on a G chord this time. Let's do a G chord. We're gonna do our 6th string, okay? Because remember, all E's and G's are up here. So we're gonna go. This is root 1, 2, 1, then 3, 3, 2, 1, 2. Now with this guy, I want you to think of it as 2 parts. So we're gonna first do root 1, 2, 1. Just practice that for me. So thumb, index, middle, index. Again, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index. That's the first part. Now the second part is going to be ring, middle, index, middle. Try that. Ring, middle, index, middle. Again, ring, middle, index, middle. One more time. Ring, middle, index, middle. And you put it together, you get something like this. Thumb, index, middle, index, ring, middle, index, middle, thumb, index, middle, index, ring, middle, index, middle. Now let's do it on a D chord. D chord, smaller, and then now we got the V shape with the D chord, and bottom 4, same thing. Thumb, index, middle, index, ring, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, ring, middle, index, middle. I love that one. That one's not really in a song, but it's a popular one. I bet you could probably find some songs that use this one. Now finger picking pattern number 5. This one is called a root, fill, and slap. Okay, let's form an E minor. E minor looks like this. You got the rocker symbol. We're gonna go root with the low E, fill, and then we're gonna do a slap. Root, fill, slap. Root, fill, slap. Just like this. Root, fill, slap. It's kind of a percussive sound. It's supposed to sound like a snare drum. Root, fill, slap. Root, fill, slap. Now notice when I'm slapping it, I'm not going like this. Root, fill, slap. I'm curling my fingers. Fill, slap, just like that, okay? Now, let's take a look at finger picking pattern number 5. This one's gonna be root, fill, slap, fill. Root, fill, slap, fill. So we're adding that extra fill. Root, fill, slap, 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 fill. Just like this. This one's also one of my favorites. I love this one. When you get up to speed, sounds really cool. So, anyways, those are some finger picking patterns to get you started. I encourage you to experiment more with these. So, like, for instance, you could do something like this on a C chord. Root, fill, fill, root, fill, fill, root, fill, fill, root, fill, fill. Or you could do something like this. Doing like a down ladder slap. Or up the ladder slap. tons of things that you can play around with this. So I encourage you to experiment more with this at home. All right, that'll be it for this video. Thank you.